This time around, once bitten, twice shy. Markets are very wary of buying stocks which are associated with hope. It is better to bury in evidence, and the evidence is indicating that as of now, the economic recovery could be a long haul process. And the evidence which so far has come from global money managers is that the pain for Indian IT industry, at least for the quarter gone by, could be huge. Why? Because A, problems in Chennai, B, general holiday season effect, and then some slowdown effect which would be visible because of cross-currency headwinds. But what about the ground reality? What I've just documented right now were concerns which some of the brokerages and money managers have flagged off in the last 8-10 days. What is the outlook for 2016, and how will 2016 be different from 2015 for in general for the IT industry? Let's discuss all that and much more with Mr. C.P. Gurnani, CEO and Managing Director with Tech Mahindra. Mr. Gurnani, good morning. Thank you for joining us. We are not starting the year 2016 on a high note for the IT industry. Problems in Chennai, cross-currency headwinds, and then slowdown in the outsourcing environment.
So good morning, and I would rather be more optimistic about 2016. To me, 2016 is more about opportunities. If I look back, I can only say that I see a lot more opportunities. The reality is India has finally become decisive on smart cities, on digital India, on some of their defense programs and the offsets. So number one is, for most of the IT companies, Indian market will become one of the focus markets. The second part, if I look at the global scenario, technology spending is actually going up. I mean, this Internet of Things, all the sensors, even if you look at the Star Wars latest movies, I mean, they were all based on science fiction, and suddenly there is nothing called fiction. It is all about science. And whether it is artificial intelligence or whether it is robotics, I do believe that the technology spending is going up. Many industries have to redefine themselves. The VC spending that is coming into various parts of the world, I think you are seeing a new information age companies. So if IT industry goes from new age and also works on many other opportunities, I think we have a good future.
AI could be the next big thing, right, Nikunj? Considering Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook's status was that he wants to recreate a Jarvis from Iron Man for his own home. That's his personal goal for 2016.
You know, the numbers which are there is that by 2020, that's 5 years away, 4 years away, 20 billion devices would be talking to each other. That's Internet of Things. And AI is something which I have no idea how it will move, but I know it's here to stay. So I cannot imagine a situation where I'm walking to the studio and got machines doing all the talking. I have no idea what will happen.
I'll be co-anchoring with the machine. No, but Mr. Gurnani, good morning. Just trying to understand the texture of Indian IT right now. The sector has been struggling for growth. It is being squeezed between larger consultants and niche small companies. How do you see the industry changing? I mean, will tier one companies need to make for investments to offer complex services, or do you expect more of these niche companies being acquired like you have gone for Pininfarina?
So I think we need to, all of us are in the business who are not only driving faster and harder, but also we have to look for opportunities, we have to look for the bends on the road. To me, acquisition of Pininfarina was a perfect marriage between design and manufacture, perfect marriage between style and industrial engineering, perfect marriage between form and function. Similarly, as you would notice, is that the digital world really means that you are more agile. Number two is that many a times you actually work more closely with your client. And number third is that you marry domain, business, marketing, sales, customer service, and IT together. So effectively it means is that your need for collaboration is much, much higher. So maybe the structure that will come up will be internally IT companies will have to start looking at not monolithic factory models, but to start looking at how to enable and empower their business units locally. So as far as I am concerned, the statistics clearly show that the technology spending is increasing. Number two, many of the CIOs are actually going in as CEOs. We saw this in Philips Health Services. We saw this in AT&T. We're seeing it in GE, where the technology companies of tomorrow are yesterday's big companies, which are now saying we are a software company. So to me, yes, the market landscape is changing, but the sector is growing. How does an Indian IT grow along with it? I think it is individual strategy.
Now, so what is your sense for the outsourcing budget for 2016? And I'm talking about the traditional outsourcing business. Will it be higher than 2015? Will it be flat?
I think all we request and expect from the budget is A, simplify it, number two, make it predictable, and number three is take into account that the geopolitical pressures, like you've just seen that one of the headwinds that we saw at the end of 2015 and which will be in 2016, that my visa costs to US have gone up dramatically. So where I need support is, I would think, is that a lot of challenges that we would ultimately face because of the way the global economies will react to workforces from all over the globe.
Mr. Gurnani, good morning, Neeraj here. My question is, since you're talking about global markets and how economies have to contribute, US, I believe, has stabilized for the industry at large and for you as well. What about the eurozone? How do you see that shaping up the course of 2016?
Listen, I mean, if you were to say that economy, I mean, that volatility in the economy is here to stay. US stabilizing, I don't think US lives in a isolated zone. The reality is what you saw in China yesterday. The reality is that today's UBS news that crude will come down to $30 a barrel. I mean, it is going to upset the economy in many parts of the world. So I don't think we can classify economic implications only by US, Europe, or Asia or Africa. I mean, I think we are a very, very connected world. And in a connected world, a tremor in one part does have an impact in every part. No company in US is only a US company. They are also global companies. So I think we have to be ready for a volatile world. And if we are ready for a volatile world, we will go through these challenges.
In this volatile world, what will happen to Tech Mahindra's profitability and margins? Let's be realistic, your margins have been very volatile despite the currency headwind. Will your margins remain stable and more than stable, predictable in this year? I'm looking for the word predictability, sir.
I think our focus on operating efficiency, our focus on integration of various units that we bought, our focus on automation and excellence, I think is showing results. So I personally believe that Tech Mahindra will continue to focus on process re-engineering, continue to focus on process excellence, continue to focus on productivity, and I do believe that I can't say that there will be no volatility, but I think you will see us relatively steady.
Define your definition of study, because when we talk to various companies, everybody has a different definition.
I think to me the relatively steady is that if I can remain within a range of plus minus 1% of EBITDA, I would consider it to be relatively steady.
Most of the IT companies have indicated that for the quarter gone by, things were tough, whether it is Chennai, seasonal factor, or slowdown in outsourcing. So the concerns which have been raised by TCS or Infosys are the same concerns which you have also, sort of suffered with for the quarter gone by.
I would like to believe that that our quarter has been good, and I'm not denying that there was a holiday season. I'm not denying that there was a unprecedented setbacks in Chennai, but overall, I'm happy with our performance. We don't give any guidance. You will hear from us on 1st of February, but I would say I'm happy.
What about your other verticals, the likes of telecom, which has been a big drag, Mr. Gurnani, for some time? Do you see it as a tailwind, as the 3 of its top 5 clients are doing M&As, which should drive integration spend?
I see telecom both as a vertical and a horizontal. I see telecom as the biggest opportunity for Tech Mahindra. I see Tech Mahindra, network services, communication, mobility, cloud, all interwoven into one vertical, which is the communication vertical. And a few quarters here or there would not define the summer here. And I genuinely believe that this is our biggest strength and biggest opportunity. I'm very confident that communication vertical not only defines the whole 20 billion, 30 billion devices of Internet of Things, but also would continue to define the way automation becomes effective, the way expert systems become effective. And I think Tech Mahindra will ride this opportunity.
Okay, so just to wrap this up, and I know you can't give guidance per se for the quarter, but maybe we start off from maybe we end the interview from where we started off. I got your prediction on the EBITDA margins. You believe plus minus 1% should be comfortable. Will we see that being accompanied by a growth from Tech Mahindra, which is higher than what the NASSCOM is predicting for the industry?
We will continue to strive towards both growth and profitability. And repeat, a quarter of summer or a winter does not define the opportunities, and Tech Mahindra is ideally poised to work on the opportunities.
Mr. Gurnani, I would have loved to ask so much more, but I understand your compulsions. You are in a silent period as well. You obviously can't talk more. But to you and the team at Tech Mahindra, a very, very happy 2016. May you reward your shareholders even more than what they believe right now. Well, that's Tech Mahindra. Optimistic, maybe cautiously optimistic on what they will do in 2016. He actually believes telecom could be that driver as well. Integration or otherwise doesn't matter. Non-committal, of course, on quarter 3, as would be the case, quite frankly.
And he's not ruling out a few bad quarters here and there.
Yeah, which will probably be par for the course as well for almost any other IT company, considering the volatile times. But I think it's good times for the hotel industry and Royal Orchid. By the way, the Sensex has slipped into the red as we speak. Just keep that in mind. But Royal Orchid is still up 7.